بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته طلاب التوجيهي الثانوية العامة. I am Mrs. Nisreen Brayat and I will be your English teacher inshallah. I have SLT-BLT certification from the University of London teaching English as a second language. And I will be glad to use the methods I have learned so far to make learning English much more easier for you. First, we will start with the grammar. The first topic is comparative quantifiers. In this video, we will revise the quantifiers, comparative and superlative adjectives. Then we will go directly to comparative quantifiers, examples, and tasks. First, what are the quantifiers? Quantifiers are the words that we use to tell first the number of something, if this something, or the noun is countable. We use many. الquantifier بنستخدمها many عشان تخبرنا أو تحدد لي العدد. For example, there are many books on the shelf. Or the quantity of something. كمية هذا الإشي إذا كان غير معدود. معروف إنه بنستخدم much في uncountable nouns. For example, she hears too much music. music اسم غير معدود فبنستخدم much عشان يحدد الكمية. The comparative adjectives. We use comparatives to show changes or to make comparison. يا إما ببين تغيير على شيء أو لا مقارنة بين شيئين. This car is certainly better, but it's much more expensive. سيارة أفضل لكنها أغلى. I'm feeling happier now. أنا أسعد الآن. We need a bigger home. We use than. متى بنستخدم than في الcomparative؟ لما نقارن بين one thing with another. أقارن شيء بشيء أو شخص بشخص. لازم أستخدم than. For example, she is 3 years older than me. Irbit is bigger than Amman. He is better player than Ronaldo. In the first sentence, older than, the comparative adjective, better than and bigger than. في superlative adjectives اللي هي صفات التفضيل. When we compare more than two, أكثر من شيء، فضل شخص على مجموعة أو شيء على مجموعة. When we compare more than two, ثاني إشي لازم أستخدم the with the superlative. For example, it is the happiest day of my life. This day, with all my life, Everest is the highest mountain in the world. قمة إيفرست هي أعلى جبل في العالم. I have 3 kids. Elias is the eldest. How to form comparative and superlative. مراجعة سريعة للقاعدة العامة للcomparative والsuperlative. الأصل إنه نضيف ER في الcomparative، EST في الsuperlative لل1 syllable words. For example, old, older, oldest, long, longer, longest. الصفات القصيرة مباشرة في المقارنة ER و than، وفي superlative the adjective EST. هلا with adjectives that ends with E، صفات اللي منتهية أصلا بE ما بضيف لها ER أو EST، مباشرة R أو ST فقط في superlative. For example, nice, nicer, nicest, large, larger, largest. هلا في حالة الصفات اللي منتهية ب Y consonant then Y، we convert Y into I. بنحول ال Y لل I، بنضيف ال ER أو ال EST عادي. like happy, happier, happiest, silly, sillier, silliest. We use more and most to make comparative and superlative. متى بستخدم المور والmost؟ بستخدمهم قبل الصفة لما تكون ال adjective more than one syllable، يعني تكون ال adjective طويلة. مثال careful more careful, most careful, interesting, more interesting, the most interesting, and so on. في عندي 3 صفات تتغير بشكل كلي عندما نحولها لصفات تفضيلية أو مقارنة. هي good, bad, far. good better, best جيد, أفضل الأفضل, سيء أسوأ الأسوأ, بعيد أبعد الأبعد. quantifiers in comparison. هلا quantifiers to show if the difference is big or small. يعني هاي quantifiers بستخدمها بتبين لي هل الديفرنس more or less في هاي المقارنة فقط. quantifiers we often use in comparison اللي دائما بنستخدمها as adjective as مثل هاي الصفة أو not as adjective as much as في الأسماء الغير معدودة, as many as للأسماء المعدودة, more أكثر, the most الأكثر, less أقل, the least الأقل. خلينا ناخد examples. The ordinary car is not as fast as race car. السيارة العادية ليست سريعة كسيارة السباق. Not as fast as. Another example. I love my son as much as I love my daughters. As much as. ليش much؟ لأنه love uncountable. America is the newest continent but the most powerful of them all. أمريكا هي الأحدث كcontinent لكنها the most powerful. استعملنا superlative عشان يبين لي difference بينها وبين باقي continents. French is as popular as English but German is the least popular one. الفرنسية إلها شعبية كالإنجليزية لكن الألمانية هي الأقل the least. عندي task number 1 fill in the gaps من quantifiers الموجودة بناء على pie chart يوضح ال after school classes دروس التقوية أو الحصص ما بعد المدرسة مقارنة بين English, Science, Math والميوزك. quantifiers اللي as much as many as popular as, not as many, والleast اللي الأقل, the most الأكثر, less أقل, more أكثر. English is بالنسبة للstudied subject اللي هي من الباي chart نطلع الجري section هي الأكثر. إذن English is the most studied subject. بساعدنا في هيك إنه موجود عندي is وهي بتيجي قبل superlative is the most. 2 studied subject are music and art. نيجي للmusic and art في اللون الأحمر هي الأقل. شو يعني أقل؟ من البوكس the least. Sentence number 3 there are فراغ students studying science as math. طيب شو مقارنة الساينس مع الماث مين أكثر؟ طبعا الساينس والماث في البلو والجرين مش زي بعض إذا not أكيد not there are not as many students many أكيد لأنه students معدود there are not students as many students studying science as math. 4 math is popular than science. لما أقارن الماث مع الساينس الماث اللي هو بالأخضر أكثر إذن math is أكثر ولا أقل؟ أكثر more popular than science. bad popular than English. مقارنة الماث مع الإنجليش هي أقل less popular than English. like doing music and art فراغ they like doing math. مقارنة الميوزك مع الماث أكيد أقل الميوزك إذن students do not like doing music and art as much as they like doing math. 6 neither math nor science لا الرياضيات ولا العلوم are فراغ English ما ضل عندي إلا as popular as، يعني لا العلوم ولا الرياضيات في شعبية الإنجليش. Solutions for the task number 1. Sentence number 1. The most. الأكثر. Number 2. The least. الأقل. Number 3. Not as many. Number 4. More popular. Number 5. As much as with H. Number 6. As popular as. Task number 2. Read the following text and find the sentences where the quantifier are used in comparison. بدي تقرأوا لي النص وتطلعوا منه الجمل اللي كان فيها comparative. The time we spent at school a few years ago, as many as 1,000 schools across the USA started making school years longer by adding up 10 extra days to the school year, or by making each school day longer by half an hour. This was because it was found that secondary schools students in the USA and UK were spending the least time at school, with an average school year of 187 days. The typical Jordanian school year is longer than this. However, none of these are nearly as long as the school year in countries like Japan and South Korea. South Koreans attend school for 220 days per year, and in Japan, the school year numbers 243 days. According to a study by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, students in Japan, Indonesia, and South Korea time studying in the world. They want to learn as much as they can to ensure the excellent exam grades. They go to school about 9 hours, although this include optional after-school tuitions and activities. They also spend about 3 hours on homework every day, which is 3 times as much as many other countries. The high academic achievements do suggest that the longer you study, the better you do on final exams. In Finland, however, students are usually given less than half an hour of homework per night, and they attend school for fewer and shorter days than 85% of other developed nations. Despite this, they achieve top marks in subjects like maths and science. In addition, most students also speak at least 2 and often 3 languages fluently. The contradictory views of the study suggest that the number and length of school days is not the only factor in determining whether students will succeed at school or not. In the comments below, plus any inquiries, suggestions, official exam questions, we will discuss it all in the next video, inshallah. If you see this is a helpful video, please share it with your friends and colleagues and subscribe in the channel.